This is CBS News Chicago.
Good morning to you. I'm Dana Kozlov. Audrina Sinclair is off today. Thanks for being with us. We are following multiple stories today, including a person hit by a Metra train this morning. A train on the BNSF line has resumed after being stopped, but extensive delays remain. And breaking overnight, a 77-year-old shot and killed in Chicago's Roseland neighborhood. We are live on the scene where police found multiple shots were fired. And today is primary election day for dozens of Chicago suburbs. We're keeping an eye on one of the most closely watched races, the battle for mayor in Dolton, and we're hearing from Mayor Tiffany Henyard herself. But we want to begin with that breaking news. A person hit by the front of a Metra train just after 7:30. It happened near Downers Grove as BNSF train number 1228 was making its way to Chicago. Now, the condition of the person hit is not known at this time, but this comes less than 24 hours after a pedestrian was hit and killed by a Metra train in that same area. That incident happened just after 4:30 yesterday afternoon on the BNSF line near Main Street. We are still waiting to learn the circumstances and the victim's name in that case as well. Let's get to Chris Habermill now to talk about the current situation happening in Downers Grove. Chris, what do commuters, especially Metra commuters, need to know?
Extensive delays are the key phrase right now, Dana. Trains have been cleared to resume, except this train here. This is 1228, which is not going to operate past the Main Street platform there where it was involved in the incident this morning. So there's still other tracks that you could see behind the train that stopped there. We still have an on-site investigation that has to go on. And while that is underway, we've got part of Main Street that was blocked off right there by the crossing. You got a couple of tracks to go by, and within the last 15 minutes, Metra has cleared trains to go past there, but with extensive delays. And you can see that Main Street is blocked by that train right now. So thank you to Skywatch for that. Let's go to the maps real quick. I'll show you exactly where this is all taking place. And you can see we've got a lot of problems on the roads as well. So here in Downers Grove, Main Street crossing is blocked north of Maple. So with that in mind, you might want to use the UP West line to avoid the delays there. Train 1228 is not going to operate this morning. It's held in place. And with the Main Street crossing blocked, you can go under at the Belmont underpass down to the west, or the Fairview Avenue crossing over the top. Neither one of those are blocked. Now, as far as the roads are concerned, it's been pretty spectacular in the last couple of hours here. Southbound 355 at Roosevelt, right lane's blocked with a fiery crash there. Got a jackknife semi and 3 right lanes on westbound 8094 Kennedy Avenue, and another crash by the Mokina Scales involving a truck that's hauling a couple of cars. So busy day. Dana, back to you.
All right, Chris, thanks so much. And I want to add, Chris, that we have just learned that the person hit this morning by that train has indeed died. So I'm sure that will also contribute to the investigation and perhaps how long that train is stopped there. Now we want to get to some breaking news overnight in the Roseland neighborhood, where Chicago police say a 77-year-old man was shot and killed early this morning. Let's get right to our Marissa Perlman live at the scene with what we know at this hour. Good morning, Marissa.
Dana, good to be with you. Since we last saw you, the crime scene tape has come down here in the Roseland neighborhood. Now, we do know that those officers were actually on patrol here in this neighborhood just after 3 when they first heard gunfire go off. It appears that this all happened inside this home here on Ed Brook. There's also a car out front with the windows shot out. Now, we did see within the last hour or so 4 officers carry out a body bag from inside this home. Again, this is near South Ed Brook and 109th Street in the Roseland neighborhood. Officers arrived on scene and found that 77-year-old man with gunshot wounds to the neck and to the head. Again, that victim is believed to have been inside that home here when the gunfire rang out. Now, video shows the police tape up earlier this morning, several bullet holes through the front window. Paramedics with Chicago Fire arrived at the scene, but the man was pronounced dead here. The victim has not yet been identified by the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office, and right now no one is in custody. Police have not said how many suspects they're looking for and the circumstances that may have led up to the shooting in the first place. All questions we hope to get answered here as we head into the rest of the morning. For now, we're live in Roseland. I'm Marissa Perlman, CBS News Chicago.
Okay, Marissa, thank you for that update. And we have some breaking news now from Munster, where a car crash killed a police officer. This happened just after 1 this morning on Highway 41, just south of 231. Officer Ryan Perez died. The Lake County Sheriff's Department is investigating, and right now they aren't saying how the accident happened. And today is primary day in Illinois. While the city of Chicago doesn't have any races this cycle, dozens of suburbs do. One of the most closely watched races is happening in Dolton as embattled Mayor Tiffany Henyard is seeking re-election. Darius Johnson is live outside a polling place there. Darius, in the last hour, you spoke to Mayor Henyard live on our news at 8 o'clock.
Dana, good morning. That's exactly right. Mayor Tiffany Henyard pulled up, spoke, and she performed before she got back in her vehicle and pulled off. What she did not do was cast her ballot here at the Lester Long Fieldhouse. She says that's something she will do later today, but her mood was jovial. She was excited. She says that she's always given back to her community and done what's right, and that she's confident that the residents of Dolton will stand with her and re-elect her. Now, she's running against a trustee she once endorsed, Jason House. Take a look. House's platform hinges on fixing the town's financial problems and a lack of transparency. Just last night, House was out trying to sway last-minute voters. Now, Tiffany Henyard was elected back in 2021 after serving as a trustee for 8 years, but for the last 2 years, she has been under intense scrutiny for her leadership. Recently, village trustees brought in former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot to investigate. Lightfoot found Henyard mismanaged finances through lavish spending while regularly avoiding questions about it. This morning, Henyard called that investigation political theater and says she provided the receipts. She then made claims that the trustees here in Dolton have been stealing money, and that Lori Lightfoot is under investigation for mishandling money. Neither of the two have been founded. Those are all claims made by Henyard. Go ahead and listen to both candidates as they seek to lead the village of Dolton.
I can't wait till the results come in this evening. I'm going to come in by a landslide, and when I do, the people will speak.
It means that she's running from her responsibilities, and I figure if you want to pass the buck to the trustees, you can pass the seat with it.
Now, Henyard says once re-elected, she will work to reunite the community by getting rid of the board of trustees, including the clerk. House's term as trustee will soon wrap up, so if he does not win this mayoral race, his days could soon be over here in government in the village of Dolton. Again, as we mentioned, this will be up to the voters to decide who they want, whether it is House or Henyard, who you both just heard from. And again, that general election is scheduled for April. So, Dana, we will see who will be victorious, as Mayor Henyard says. We're live in Dolton this morning. I'm Darius Johnson. Back to you.
Those results will certainly be interesting, Darius. Thanks so much. Well, we are also watching the election in Aurora. Mayor Richard Irvin's been in office since 2017 and is running for re-election. His challengers are Karina Garcia, who's president of the Aurora Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and two Aurora aldermen, John Lash and Judd Lofchi, who also ran against Irvin in 2021. Another challenger, small business owner Ted Mesiakos. And Cicero will elect a town president. Incumbent Larry Dominic has held the job for 20 years there, but he has a challenger this election cycle, Esteban Rodriguez, who served as director of a youth nonprofit. Two high-profile trials are also about to get underway. That includes the man accused in the deadly mass shooting at the Highland Park 4th of July parade in 2022. And we expect jury selection to pick up again today in the case against Robert Crimo III. 7 jurors have been seated so far, and attorneys have to find 5 more, plus alternates. The suspect faces 21 counts of first-degree murder and dozens of counts of attempted murder in connection with that shooting. Opening statements are expected to begin Monday, but the trial is expected to last 3 to 5 weeks. And opening statements are expected this morning in the trial of a Plainfield Township landlord accused of murdering a 6-year-old Muslim boy. The jury was seated in Will County Court yesterday. 71-year-old Joseph Chuba is facing murder and hate crime charges. Prosecutors say in 2023, Chuba stabbed his tenant's son, Wadi Al-Fayumi, to death and stabbed the boy's mother because they are Palestinian and Muslim.
We firmly pray and hope that Mr. Chuba will be locked up for the rest of his life so we can send a message that hate crimes against anyone on the basis of their religion and national origin are not tolerated.
There is a push to wrap up the trial by Friday, and if convicted, Chuba could face life in prison. Court begins at 10:30 this morning. Let's take a live look outside now on your Tuesday morning, and it is shaping up to be a beautiful one, especially for late February. Meteorologist Laura Bannon in the First Alert Weather Center now. I mean, a great day to be outside.
I know. The snow is gone, but now it's all just a wet mess, but we're feeling pretty nice. Live look over the lake where things are nice and calm right now. It will be a little cooler lakeside here today, but temperature is still above the norm for this point in February. We're warming quickly right now, upper 40s, Midway at 48, 47 O'Hare, 45 Waukegan, and Aurora coming in at 42. I bumped up our highs today a couple degrees, mid-50s still on target for this afternoon. By noon it's sunny, 51, 53 by 2 o'clock, and then we've got mainly clear skies going into the evening. Now tomorrow morning we do have a chance to see some rain showers in the area. Wet start to Wednesday, but things will improve and our temperatures remain elevated for several more days. We'll talk about those 50s. How long hangs around coming up here shortly. Dana,
all right,
back
Laura,
to you.
Thanks so much. No complaints. As we keep an eye on your world, prayers continue from the Vatican as Pope Francis recovers from pneumonia. The Vatican says Pope Francis rested well all night and is showing slight improvements but remains in critical condition. The 88-year-old pontiff has been in the hospital now for over 10 days. He is said to be improving. The Pope did some work yesterday calling the parish of Gaza from the hospital. It's something he's done consistently since 2023. Some American Catholics see this as a time to come together.
A central figure like Pope Francis allows all of us to be grounded in something greater than ourselves.
In a social media post over the weekend, the Pope thanked the world for praying for him. And a Delta flight had to turn around after possible smoke filled the cabin, and one passenger caught it on camera. Take a look at how hazy it is there. Travelers were told to breathe through their clothing. The passenger says smoke started to fill the cabin as the plane took off from Atlanta. It turned around and landed back at the airport. 94 passengers and 5 crew members were evacuated on inflatable slides. 2 people were treated by medics at the scene. And today is a professional development day for Chicago Public Schools, and the Park District is hosting a day of fun for students. We'll tell you how to join in on this day of play. And a big honor for an Aurora principal, how he is being recognized by the city after receiving a prestigious Educator Award. The newest exhibit at the Field Museum is putting the focus on Africa's fashion scene. Africa Fashion opens on Friday, but we will get an early preview today. It includes more than 180 works from more than 20 African countries. You'll need a ticket to see it, though, in addition to museum admission. And since there is no school for CPS today, it is time to play. Girls' Day of Play is opening more than 20 Chicago parks for girls to participate in sports, crafts, and competitions. There is no cost, but you do need to register. It's open to girls ages 6 to 12. Today's program is the biggest it's ever been since starting up in 2018 and gives girls the chance to connect with others around their age. You can learn more at chicagoparkdistrict.com/girlsplay. Most educators will tell you their job is all about the kids and setting them up to succeed. But Aurora just honored Waubonsie Valley High School Principal Jason Stipp after he was named the 2025 Outstanding Administrator of the Year by the Illinois PTA.
In recognition of his stellar career and unwavering commitment to excellence in education, do hereby proclaim his birthday, November 7th, as Jason Stipp Day in the city of Aurora from this point forward.
Stipp Stipp got the surprise proclamation yesterday in front of students and staff. He has been principal of Waubonsie Valley for the last 13 years. Hey, congratulations, Principal Stipp.
That's incredible.
That's a really big honor.
Yeah, it's a great school, too. Warriors. But I ran track a couple times.
I was going to say, were they your rivals?
Yes, big-time rivals. Yeah.
Well, anyway, good day to run track, I guess, if that started up.
Yeah, we already said day 2 for you is not in the books.
No, my run from yesterday will not be repeated today.
Yeah,
I gotta
you gotta ease into it.
Back into it for me, right? Yeah,
so,
we'll do something else.
Yeah, walk would be good too.
Yeah,
we could do that too. We've got some nice couple of days to get out and enjoy. We've seen a lot of foot traffic here in Daly Plaza too. Taking advantage of the nice little short stint that we have with the warm weather before things change, as we typically see. March usually is a bumpy ride where we do have at least some swings in temperatures, and we do see that in your 10-day temperature trend. I'll show you that here in a second. But we've got sunny skies here today, highs in the 50s, wet start tomorrow, a little bit cooler for a few days here, but the rest of the week overall, the big theme is that we're going to be staying mild and warm for this time of year. Average 39 degrees. We're above that for today, tomorrow, all the way through the end of the week. Weekend is when we'll eventually feel those cooling changes, but closer to where we should be, upper 30s, and then a couple of days next week look to be nice and mild once again. Our 24-hour temperature change already showing a boost right now. We are really seeing these temperatures take off already. Upper 40s, close to 50 in some areas. O'Hare at 47. We have 48 Midway, 43 McHenry, Aurora, one of the colder spots here this morning at 42. Upper 40s for Northwest Indiana. Rain, it's out of here. Now we're working with generous sunshine. It'll stay sunny throughout the entire day. Clear skies here this evening until those clouds start to increase by tomorrow morning. Pulling in a light chance for some showers in the morning hours. Most of that looks to fall to the south and actually clears out of here fairly quickly in the morning. So we do leave with at least dry skies. A small chance for a passing shower here or there through the overnight hours going into Thursday morning. 54 for the high today. Sunny skies and a little bit cooler near the lake. Look for temperatures in the upper 40s, near 50 in that direction. Tonight we go down to a low of 34 with rain by daybreak. Showers mostly in the morning hours clearing out, but we do hold on to that small rain chance going into Thursday. Windy warm up on Friday, a high of 56 degrees. Likely going to be the warmest day out of this entire stretch as we head back to reality in the 30s for the weekend. But Monday starting off strong. Highs right around 50 once again. All right, let's go over to the First Alert Traffic Center on this Tuesday morning. Kind of a busy start to the day. How are we looking now?
It didn't start off that way. It was very mellow for a while, then a bunch of crashes, and unfortunately a fatal event on the Metra BNSF this morning. It was right around 7:30, a little bit afterwards, right at the Main Street crossing, where an inbound train contacted a person that was on the right-of-way, and that train right now, 1228, sits at the Main Street crossing and across the actual grade across the street there, where it stopped. You can see from the view from Skywatch that they are getting trains by, in and out. There are a couple of tracks there to get around that stopped train. And unfortunately, the individual that was struck was critically injured, taken to Advocate Good Samaritan Hospital, also in Downers Grove, and unfortunately they succumbed to their injury. So let's go ahead to the maps. There's a lot going on this morning. There's a lot of red on the maps to talk about here. Not only where this incident happened this morning with extensive delays, you may want to use the UP West instead with 1228 sitting there. Main Street crossing is blocked, so either Belmont or Fairview to get across that. And we've got a host of crashes still being cleaned up. Southbound 355 at Roosevelt in the right lane, westbound 8094 at Kennedy Avenue in 3 right lanes, and westbound 80 by the Mokina truck scales in 2 right lanes. What a mess. Chris Habermill, CBS News Chicago.
A difficult morning, Chris. Okay, thanks so much. Well, The Price is Right, marking a major milestone this week. Next, host Drew Carey joins us live to talk about the show's 10,000th episode.
Dana and Audrina, good morning to you from Sky Zone Lincoln Park, the only Sky Zone location in the city of Chicago. If you have a child that has a birthday coming up, they do birthdays really well here. They've got 3 different packages, several different spaces where you can just have a great time, bring a bunch of food, a cake, and have the kids wear themselves out on the trampoline, the basketball, the racing slides, all of the above. Even if you're in your late 30s celebrating a birthday like I am today, yeah, you'll have fun too. We'll see you back here in about 20 minutes.
TV's longest-running game show, The Price is Right, will celebrate its 10,000th episode tomorrow. The first episode aired on September 4th, 1972, and since then, the show's given away more than $350 million in cash and prizes. And we all know that catchphrase, right? Come on down. Joining us now is none other than host Drew Carey. Hey, Drew, thank you so much for being with me this morning.
Hi, guys. How you doing? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Okay, first, you'll also be hosting your 3,269th episode, but this was quite a shift for you. What is your favorite thing about doing Price is Right?
I really love, I love going to work, honestly. Sometimes I don't love the drive, but once I get there,
yeah, we know that.
It's amazing because no matter what's bothering me or what's going on, as soon as the doors open, I'm in this happy place full of happy people having their best day, and everybody's just a regular person. You know, I get to meet regular old Americans from all walks of life all the time, like a good working class America, and it gives me I walk away with the show with a lot of hope.
Oh, that's
and
great.
A lot of because I in my head, everybody's a good, decent person because I see them at the Price is Right every day. I just see a bunch of good, decent people trying their best, having fun, and that's my view of the whole country right now and society, because I get to host the Price is Right, and it's a huge source of joy to me, and I feel really like I'm in a special place to be even being there, to be like the face of this iconic institution that all these other people have created over the years, and then they hand the torch to me to be the face of it. And there's so many people working behind the scenes and that I'm representing that put in a lot of hard work with, there's grips and production people and even the PAs. They all work so hard and work so many hours to make it a fun experience. And we all know that we're part of some iconic thing, and we're all really proud to work there. And I feel blessed, honestly, all the time.
That's really great. And, I can say just from watching you do the show, host the show, you're really great with people, too. And I mean that sincerely.
Oh, thanks. It's easy because they're all in a great mood when they show up.
Well, of course. How can you not be?
If I was a crisis counselor, I'd have, much different attitude.
Right. But that's really nice. That's really nice that you're seeing people when they're so excited and so happy to be there, Yeah. Okay. What can we expect out of tomorrow's celebratory episode? We hear, there are some special games and prizes, maybe?
Oh, yeah. Lots of money. The prizes are huge. If you want to, and people lose their minds, especially. I know that's a big thing for me as a viewer when I'm on the stage. I'm watching the show in my head while I'm doing it, but I love when people, it makes me giddy when people are just like, oh my God, when they just go bananas. And there's going to be a lot of that because the prizes are so huge tomorrow. We're going to be giving away a lot of money. We already taped the show. No spoilers, but stakes are way up on a show like this. We went out of our way to make it special for everybody.
My colleague Laura Bannon, who is our wonderful meteorologist in the morning, it's her dream to be on The Price is Right. But that's a whole other issue. I know.
CBS affiliate.
She is like, oh my gosh. Yeah, no, you can't. No, you can't. Okay, in honor of the milestone, there's a special donation happening as well, right? Do you want to tell me about that donation?
Yeah, we're giving away $10,000 to the Mental Health Alliance, I believe it's called, right? Yeah.
NAMI. Yep.
What's it called?
NAMI. In fact, my daughter, coincidentally, was the president of her university's chapter of NAMI, by the way.
Yeah, so we're giving away $10,000 to a mental health organization because that's my thing lately. I'm asking people at the end of the show to take care of their mental health. It's because, I don't know, there's a lot of people that I've known and men that I've known that are just, they wait until it's too late.
Yeah.
Or they're not proactive about it. They wait till they hit rock bottom and then they finally reach out to hey, I need to talk to somebody. But you don't have to get there. Like, you can talk to somebody on a regular basis. You can have check-ins with your friends. There's a lot of aspects to mental health that don't involve hitting rock bottom and taking a pill.
Right.
It's about your lifestyle, your attitude in life, how you view things, and making it front and center. Just like you do, like, oh, I have to work out today because I feel better. And yes, you have to do some mental health. It's
about priorities,
check-ins.
Right? It's about making it a priority. Okay, I know you have a really, really busy morning, but I so appreciate you joining us this morning. Drew Carey, of course, host of The Price is Right, the 10,000th episode coming up. We thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, have a great one. And The Price is Right airs every day at 10 on CBS. You can also stream it on Paramount+. And next at 9:30, Mr. Ernest Krim III joins us live to talk about his mission to share Black history and his latest project.
This is CBS News Chicago.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9:33. I'm Dana Kozlov. Thanks so much for staying with us. Let's get back to some breaking news now. We have confirmed that a person was hit and killed by a Metra train. Now, this happened in Downers Grove just after 7:30 this morning as a BNSF train was making its way to Chicago. The train's been stopped there as the investigation continues. Now, this is the second deadly incident involving a Metra train in 24 hours in that same area. Some trains are able to get by on other tracks. The Main Street crossing in Downers Grove is blocked. Meteorologist Laura Bannon is in the First Alert Weather Center now with more on what we can expect weather-wise today, Laura.
Blue sky right over to Cal, thanks to NIU Meteorology. We're seeing a lot of this. Sunny skies across the area and quickly warming temperatures. Now that we've got all the snow melted, I mean, things are really going to heat up out there. I boosted our highs today back into the mid-50s. We'll be a little bit cooler near the lakefront. Right now, out at Chicago here, 47 degrees and a breeze in from the northwest holding at 10. We do run a feels like temperature, but we do not see a wind chill factor once we hit that 50-degree mark. And we're close there in a couple of areas. Upper 40s, Midway, Gary, Valparaiso at 47, Aurora at 42. We have clear skies. The rain that we had earlier is now really long gone and expected to come back in overnight tonight into tomorrow. So we do squeeze out another day of sunshine, mild temperature, high this afternoon of 54, Dana.
Thank you. And right now, a coalition of federal workers and contractors who were fired by Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency are protesting in Washington, D.C. They are staging a job fair with sit-ins at Senate offices to pressure senators to rein in Musk. Now, it comes as federal employees still on the job are confused about an email sent by Musk. It asked them to send a list of work accomplishments. Musk is giving them more time to comply, but as Jared Hill explains, some officials are telling employees not to respond.
From the Oval Office, President Donald Trump praised Elon Musk for his email to nearly 2 million federal workers threatening terminations if they don't send in a list of 5 things they did at work last week.
There was a lot of genius in sending it. We're trying to find out if people are working.
Hours before the Monday deadline, Musk ordered an extension, warning failure to respond a second time will result in termination. But then, confusion after Trump's Office of Personnel Management sent a memo to federal agency heads saying it was up to them to determine how to handle the DOJ directive. Some have already told workers not to respond. The massive cuts of thousands of federal employees has sparked outrage. Voters are confronting Republican members of Congress during town halls back in their home districts.
Obviously, people are mad, and we're mad too.
The unrest at home comes as President Trump met with French President Emmanuel Macron at the White House, expressing optimism that a deal to end Russia's war in Ukraine could be just weeks away, now 3 years after it all began.
A lot of good things toward peace are happening.
Both leaders agreed to establish a peacekeeping force in Ukraine if and when a deal is reached. But the president continues to split with European allies on blaming Russia for the war.
This is the responsibility of Russia because the aggressor is Russia.
Later, Russian President Vladimir Putin signaled that a peace deal could be further away than Trump's proposed timeline. President Trump is set to host British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, another key European ally, later this week. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Also yesterday, the U.S. split from European allies and voted against a UN resolution condemning Russia's war in Ukraine. The U.S. also voted the same way as Russia on a U.S. proposed resolution that did not call Russia the aggressor or acknowledge Ukraine's independence. A federal judge did not tell the White House it has to restore the Associated Press's access to presidential events right away. You'll remember the AP was banned from the Oval Office for continuing to refer to the Gulf of Mexico, not simply the Gulf of America, after President Trump's executive order. The judge said the AP did not show it had suffered, quote, irreparable harm. However, the judge did urge the Trump administration to reconsider the 2-week ban, saying the law is not on the administration's side. Well, you've seen him here sharing Black history facts and stories. Author and educator Mr. Ernest Krim III joins us live next. And it is a massive indoor playground in today's Jumpstart. We are at Sky Zone's latest location, coming soon to Lincoln Park.
Hi, I'm Tonika Lewis-Johnson, a social justice artist from Chicago's South Side, Inglewood neighborhood. When I think of Lorraine Hansberry, I think of courage, the kind that ignites movement. In 1959, Hansberry shattered barriers as the first Black woman to have a play performed on Broadway. Her masterpiece, A Raisin in the Sun, told the story of a Black family daring to dream despite systemic racism, drawn from her own family's battle against housing discrimination here in Chicago. It wasn't just a play. It was a call to action that remains as relevant today as it was then. But Hansberry's impact went beyond the stage. She was also deeply involved in the civil rights movement, working alongside leaders like Paul Robeson, James Baldwin, and Nina Simone. She was a writer, an activist, and an unapologetic voice for justice. Hansberry spoke out against racism, sexism, and colonialism, using her words to inspire change and push boundaries. She once said, to create the universal, you must pay attention to the specific. Her ability to root universal truths in Black life made her work timeless. She showed us that art and activism are inseparable. The storytelling can illuminate injustice and mobilize communities. Though she left us at just 34, Hansberry's legacy endures. Her boldness, her vision, and her fight remind me that art isn't just about expression. It's about transformation. Every story I tell through my work is a continuation of the fight she started.
Tonika Lewis-Johnson, thank you for that lesson. And throughout this Black History Month, we have been sharing critical stories about people and moments that have shaped our nation. And to help us, we reached out to several Chicago storytellers and historians. And one of them joining me right now live is Mr. Ernest Krim III, an educator and an author. Thanks so much for being with me today.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
It really is great. It's all your very lessons, as I was telling you, have been really, I think, very informative to me and also really, really interesting. But I know this is your second year joining us to share Black history. Why is this so important to you, and especially having this platform to be able to do it?
Yeah, it's all etched in the title of my book, How Black History Can Save Your Life. When I say that, I mean it literally. Understanding the fact that if I was not able to become aware of who I am as a person, especially a Black man in America, I could have went a variety of different ways, especially as a product of the South Side of Chicago in a red line neighborhood. So when I began to discover this history in college, it was mind-blowing to me, and I had to share it with others. It gave me purpose. It filled me with pride. So when I give this information to people, it's because I know it can illuminate something within us that we didn't know was there, but it could also bring us all together. And when you think about the fact that our history is being banned or censored now, I like to fill in the gaps and provide people with something that goes beyond a potential ban at their school district.
Yeah, you know, so many things I want to get to, but my next question that you mentioned, but, you know, I know you're a former high school history teacher, right? You use social media to share these lessons. You've, you know, gained quite the following. What inspired you to initially use social media as a platform and, of course, continue on it?
Yeah, so I began to make Black history videos initially to fight for justice in a hate crime I dealt with in 2016 with me and my wife. We were on the south side of Chicago at the South Shore Cultural Center. And at this event, we were minding our business, just so happened to be called the N-word and spat on by a white woman over a dispute over a beanbag. I was recording it as it escalated, and I posted it online so that people can give us the information. I started to record videos after that to educate, but then also to help other people fight for justice. So whenever I post videos, truthfully, the idea is for us to be able to advocate for justice for other people or just themselves in terms of liberating their minds. So it's not just Black History Facts, it's Black History for liberation and for justice.
You know, we've talked about, of course, you've got the social media platform, but this is your second year with us. What sort of response, simply because of working with us, have you gotten? I mean, do you think it's a wider response or a more interesting response, or it's not as effective as social media responses?
Very effective, because, you know, when you go from recording videos in your car, you know, at a gas station, or sometimes, you know, I started off recording these on my break at work or in my office or whatever. It's a big difference between going viral doing that and being on an official platform. So I already was getting stopped before by some people, but I get stopped a lot more. I get stopped at the gym sometime, but even more than that, it gives me that official stamp. And I think just the cherry on top is when we got nominated for an Emmy last year for this. And again, as someone who got into this to educate, I never could have imagined I would be in an environment like that.
Yeah, and we're happy to have you. You also touched on just a couple minutes ago the fact that, you know, with DEI initiatives being removed in many cases, it's even more important now, you were saying, to, you know, share these lessons. Are you concerned about what is happening, and what do people need to do to counter any, you know, sort of whitewashing, if you will, or erasing of history?
I'm very much concerned, but I'm not worried, and I say that because we've dealt with this before in history. I come from a people who emerged from the context of not being allowed to learn how to read and write legally without potentially being whipped or killed sometimes, right? So I always keep that in the back of my mind when I think about this. And I think when we see what's going on now, I think the powers that be understand that when we can come together as people from all various backgrounds, we can create something better than what we see now. And I think that can potentially be a threat to some folks. So I want to continue to educate people, because this history is not just for my community. I'm speaking to us, but it's for to bring all of us together, because all folks from different backgrounds have fought for equity here. So it's about the book. I can, you know, I'm giving folks access to that information there with How Black History Can Save Your Life. I have free videos online, a free Black History course, and even in addition to that, I want us to take back our history. So even this Thursday, February 27th, we're going to the DuSable Museum during the school day to give parents that strength and courage to say, it's my responsibility first to teach my kids.
And we were just showing a cover of your book there, How Black History Saved My Life, correct?
Yes.
And then now we're looking at the Black History Field Trip, which is Thursday, February 27th. You want to tell me really quickly about that again?
Yeah, so the focus of that essentially was when my kids started going to school, I began to realize that they would probably never learn as much Black history in school as I could teach them. I mean, it's a high bar as somebody who specializes in it. But also, too, I think that I want my kids to know, because I began to take them out of school and take them to different cultural trips. I felt like this year was a good time to expand that to other people so they kind of know. It's great if the schools teach your kids their history, and they should. But first and foremost, they have to be able to learn it at home. We are the first teachers as parents, and I want to reemphasize that with this trip.
I think it's great. Well, again, your lessons have been so informative. Mr. Ernest Krim III, thank you so much for being with me this morning. I really, really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Hope to see you next year.
Definitely.
All right, let's toss it over now to Laura with more on our forecast. Laura?
Yeah, we've got a nice quiet stretch ahead of us. A little rain here or there. Our next round that we're watching is going to be coming through tomorrow in the morning hours. But we do have mild temperatures sitting 10-15 degrees above the norm now through Friday. Rain chance tomorrow. Weekend is when things eventually turn. Not looking at a drastic drop in temperatures, but we're just easing back close to normal, which is in the upper 30s. We're already well above that right now. Warming quickly with all that sunshine. 47 at O'Hare, 48 Midway, near 50 Joliet, and we have 52 now Gary, 47 Valparaiso. Radar's quiet, expected to stay quiet through the rest of the day. Those clouds don't increase until at least the overnight hours through tomorrow morning, pulling in a few light rain showers to start off Wednesday morning. Moves out of here fairly quickly. We should be drying up by mid to late late morning. Cloudy skies will continue throughout the rest of the day, and we'll still see at least a pesky shower chance lingering through the late day, overnight into Thursday. No rain here today. Mild feel, 54 for the high. Will be slightly cooler near the lake, upper 40s lakeside here today. Tonight, temperatures stay above freezing with a low of 34 degrees. We should be mostly quiet throughout most of the night, and most of that rain is going to fall by daybreak tomorrow. Clears out afternoon, a leftover shower or two, but we're not really seeing an impact with our temperatures. Still expected to stay up into the 50s. 7-day forecast, a little cooler on Thursday, mid-40s, a small shower chance, cloudy and breezy. Windy warm up on Friday. Friday is going to be the warmest day out of this entire stretch, going for a high of 56. Some areas could get up high to 59, possibly even 60 degrees for the end of the week. Saturday, Sunday, quiet skies continue. More sunshine. Temperatures, though, just seasonable, upper 30s near 40. Monday for next week, looks like we pick up right where we left off with above normal warmth in the upper 40s, close to 50. All right, let's go over to the First Alert Traffic Center. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Laura. At least the weather's good because the traffic on the roads and even the rails has not been so good this morning. Let's go to the maps and I will show you what I'm talking about here. First of all, we've been following a developing story out of Downers Grove. Sadly, someone was struck and killed on the BNSF line right around the Main Street station this morning. So the trains are operating slowly past the train that was involved there. So still running about 30 to 40 minutes behind schedule. Might want to use the UP West line. 1228's been out of service and blocking the crossing. They should be moving that out of the way before too long. So with the crossing blocked, maybe Belmont or Fairview would be the place for you. As far as the roads are concerned, we had a crash southbound 355 at Roosevelt and involved a fire afterwards. Still a big delay from back at North Avenue down to Roosevelt. 8 miles of delay coming out of Gary into Hammond area, so the right lane is blocked still there with a jackknife semi that was just straightened out. Inbound side of the Edens, that's in it too. 2 left lanes are blocked with moving midday work. Have a great day. Drive safe. Let's be nice to each other. Chris Habermill, CBS News Chicago.
Chris, thanks so much. In today's Jumpstart, we are putting our own jumping skills to the test and checking out Sky Zone's latest location set to open next month. The popular trampoline park now has a space for families in Chicago's Lincoln Park. It is scheduled to open March 8th, but Jackie Kostek's been there all morning long with a preview, and she has a look now with, a look at now. Jackie, I'm just going to throw it to you. I'm having a hard time talking.
Oh, to toss it to me, Dana. I will pick it up from here. It's the official baton, passing of the baton. Maybe I can't talk either. Sky Zone Chicago, Sky Zone Lincoln Park, Chicago is the first Sky Zone location in the city of Chicago, and it has evolved. I can't talk either. I'm just so excited for this race. We're going to get these kids going. We are going to have them go down the slide, then they're going to go through the American Ninja Warrior course, and then they're going to end on a little dash course at the end. Okay, so here they go. They're underway. Good job, you guys. Now go off to the American Ninja Warrior course. There you go. There you go. Okay, we've got everybody cheering. It's a little chaotic here with Robin Adams. Does this happen often?
Yes, it does.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, this is what creates the excitement.
Okay, you say it's active entertainment, but this is actually an active competition for my birthday today, which I absolutely love. This part you said is actually one of the most challenging spaces in this whole Sky Zone Chicago.
100%, 100%. Just trying to get through there, but they're working hard to do it. And this is
working hard.
That fun and excitement.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I can't even keep up mentally or physically with this race. Okay, go ahead, you guys, go ahead. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? Okay, let's see how they do. This is the last part of our setup obstacle course. Oh! It is so wild. It is so wild. It is fun. Okay, good. I'm glad. You know what? We're gonna say who crossed the finish line first. Was it this boy over here or was it you? Both of you guys? Okay, well, he's running away, so I'm going to talk to you first. What did it take to make it through that course so fast like you did?
Balance, I guess.
Balance, yes. Okay, was it fun? Tell me about it. What was the experience like?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
It's bouncy.
Yes.
It's
bouncy, fun, good times. What about you? You made it through really, really fast. What was the key to your success?
Don't be scared to get hurt, I guess.
See, that's what separates the kids from the adults out here, because the adults are saying, oh, we're terrified of being hurt. So we're going to go into everything gingerly, but the kids, not so much. Sky Zone Chicago is actually already open to the public, but Dana, you had mentioned them opening up on March 8th, I believe. That is their grand opening party. They're going to have a DJ here. It's going to be a blowout bash. So, but they already open, so you can come and check them out in Lincoln Park off of Kingsbury. Dana, back to you.
All right, I love the kids flopping all over the place there, Jackie. Thanks so much and happy birthday.
Oh my gosh, I know. Thank you, Dana. Thank you.
All right, and we will be right back, everyone.
I appreciate it.
All right, one final look at your 7-day. We're mild at least through Friday. Highs in the 50s. A little rain tomorrow morning, so you want to have your umbrella for that early morning commute. Otherwise, we're dry, feeling pretty nice. 56 on Friday. That is a way to finish out a week.
I know. I mean, all that sunshine. Of course, it dips on the weekend, but we can handle
38. I mean, 38 at this rate still feels like 50.
Right,
so
especially when you consider a week ago it was like 2.
9,
right?
minus 5,
exactly.
minus 25 wind chill.
Right. We got this. Anyway, thanks everyone for joining us here on the News at 9. Your local news continues right here on the stream. Have a great day and stay safe.